Welcome home to USA Global TV and Radio, a place where dreams take flight, with authentic storytelling, diverse perspectives and meaningful conversations, where global stories unite and bridges are built beyond all borders. Discover world-class education, entertainment, hope and inspiration. Together, we're building bridges worldwide. Subscribe to our channel, USA Global TV. Download our app, USA Global TV. Be our guest or join our team. Visit usaglobaltv.com. Thanks to our founder and executive producer, Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Music score by Yeffy Tang from Cloud Road Music. Voiceover artist Mike Porter. Creative direction by Paul Garcia. USA Global TV and Radio, your home for global connection. All rights reserved. This video and its contents are the exclusive property of USA Global TV and Radio. Unauthorized use, duplication or redistribution in any form is strictly prohibited.
Get ready for Talking Heads, the show where expert insights meet world-class education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. Brought to you by USA Global TV and Radio. Meet our distinguished presenters. From the great state of Texas, longevity expert, award-winning author, publisher, and distinguished Toastmaster, Red O'Loughlin. From London, England, soul heart awakener, novelist, vocal coach, and artist, Dr. Madeline Chan. Also from England, the Harley Street stress expert, therapist, ambassador for peace, and speaker, Carolyn HEWARD. And from Australia, ICF PCC credentialed coach, entrepreneur, and leadership coach, Mariska Dupria. Experience their expertise, connect with their wisdom, and transform your perspective. Watch Talking Heads on the USA Global TV and Radio Network. This video and its contents are the property of USA Global TV and Radio. All rights reserved. Terms and conditions apply. Visit usaglobaltv.com for more details.
Hello and welcome to USA Global TV and Radio. My name is Caroline HEWARD and I'm today's expert on Talking Heads. Our show today is Talking Heads and I'm one of 4 Talking Heads experts on USA Global TV and Radio. Our topic today is a really powerful one and one that affects all of us at some time in our lives. It's families in crisis, navigating sudden change and emotional turmoil. Before I get into the topic, I want to share with you something that I'm feeling very proud of personally, and that our founder and our executive producer and chief executive producer of USA Global TV and Radio was awarded the coveted, and I mean the very coveted, Silver Creator Award by YouTube. It is the Silver Creator Award, and she's achieved over 100,000 YouTube subscribers. She has over 105,000 YouTube subscribers on our first channel that has been awarded, and over 35,000 subscribers on the second channel of YouTube. We have 2 LinkedIn channels, 6 Facebook channels, 2 Instagram channels, TikTok, X, and Amazon, and many, many more. We are distributed by E360 TV, Zizzle TV, where we are on Roku, Apple, and around 50 plus channels. It is important from my perspective, as I want to leave a legacy, and all my shows, especially the Talking Heads episodes, are to leave a legacy and help others. I feel particularly proud of being part of this channel and under the leadership, the incredible leadership of Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck on this channel. I've been here, it'll be 4 years on the 7th of July 2021, and I wanted to share that with you because I want you as a viewer, whether you're new here for the first time or whether you're on the live or the replay, or you've just popped in, or this subject has piqued your interest, subscribe to our 2 channels and be part of our wonderful movement. So that's something that I felt that was important because I've grown, I've evolved, and more importantly, I feel very blessed and privileged to be part of this channel. And I have huge and deepest gratitude for Dr. Jacqueline for everything that she is achieving, has achieved, and how this channel has grown, because I know that my legacy is getting out to more people. If you love what USA Global TV and Radio are doing, and if you love this show, please do subscribe to our 2 channels. And now let's get on with this very challenging topic. When I decided to do this topic of families in crisis, navigating sudden change and emotional turmoil, it made me think that we all go through these types of life-changing challenges within our own families, from the perspective of being a parent or being a sibling or being part of an extended family, cousins, nephews, aunts, uncles, grandpas, grandmas. So we all have a part to play. Even if you're from a foster care family, we all have families, whether they're paternal or whether they are coming into our lives through various channels. In terms of, I have many different types of families, and USA Global TV and Radio is one of my families. And I also belong to a peace organisation, and that's another family. And when something happens to one of your family, it becomes a crisis in terms of how do we handle it. This episode is part of the Mind and Body Connection series. So let's begin. Families in crisis, navigating sudden change and emotional turmoil. When suddenly we are in a state of flux and change, it happens, it almost comes out and creeps upon us without us even realizing it. And when challenges occurs, it can come in the form of sudden death. That's the one that most of us will recollect and know about. It could come through a terminal illness, maybe your own, maybe a sibling, maybe a parent, maybe a niece, a nephew, a cousin, or it could be a grandma or grandpa. It could come in the form of divorce, somebody actually being in a relationship for many, many years, maybe having grown-up children or older children, and then finding they're just not happy anymore. We call that the midlife crisis in the UK. And this can happen to anyone. This is not that it's your fault or you did something wrong. This can happen to anyone. And I firmly believe, certainly with divorce, I got married and thought it was forever, and it didn't work out. I changed, and the person that I married didn't change with me, and I evolved into a new career in terms of stress management and therapy, holistic therapy work. And he met me as a corporate girl. He met me as a marketing and PR person, and I changed because of the passing of my father. And how I handled it was by training to sort out my own challenges, and in doing that, that moved me into a new career and a new way of living and being and appearing in the world, and new behaviours, because I felt different and I became different. And this is something we're going to explore, that in these types of changes that can occur, these existential changes that can occur in our lives, we can evolve and change and become different and become a different person than what we perhaps was before that change. So adult children moving back home can be very challenging because they've been in their own environment for a long time and they've had their own space, and being an adult in their own right, they're doing their own things and going to bed when they want and eating when they want, and not feeling that they have to report back or indeed feel that they are in that place of sibling parent to a parent. And so when an adult sibling or an adult child moves back into a family home, they become the child again, because the parents, they're always the parents and the child is always the child. And that can be challenging for anyone. And it doesn't matter how old we are. We can be in our 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s or 60s. It doesn't matter how old we are. We can become because we are the child in the parent's eyes. And that is something that is challenging for all sorts of reasons in terms of being able to handle that physicality and that emotional change. Also mental illness. If either ourselves have a mental breakdown, or there is high levels of depression or anxiety, this can move into a complete mental breakdown or a mental crisis. And I have seen many clients who are naturally on tranquilitic medication. I'm surprised at how many young people are on tranquilitic antidepressants. And this is where our feelings, our emotions are numbed right down, and they have their own side effects, which are not great for the person as well as the extended family, the siblings, parents, and the people that are around them. And in feeling numbed down, we can be exposing ourselves to experiences that we perhaps aren't comfortable with, and yet it's difficult to show emotion because of the tranquilitic medication. And so it can come out in all sorts of other ways, like anger or lashing out or resentment to other people, other things. It can come out in our communication verbally, written, as well as emotionally, behaviorally. It can come out as a lashing out at someone, something, events, circumstances, situations that we're not really kind of responsible for, is what I will say, because we're under the influence of medication. We could be self-medicating on different recreational substances because we feel that we feel better if we're drinking alcohol, or if we're taking recreational substances such as marijuana, because there's a widespread understanding now, and an accepted understanding, that many people feel more relaxed, and at the same time it can give you other side effects which bring in a level of paranoia or an escalated level of anger or a short fuse. So even some of these accepted therapeutic methods of self-medicating can move you into a state of not being in control or not feeling that great, and being uncomfortable with things that are going on. And it can come out in all sorts of ways. So sickness, our own, a family sickness, a sibling, a parent, all these things are places where we have to handle things practically, logically, physically. And at the same time, we are also experiencing our own crisis of having to handle those situations, both personally and for others within the family unit. The purpose of this talk is to offer understanding and guidance and reassurance that these moments can be navigated. When life changes suddenly and families are often left reeling emotionally and practically, today I want to walk you through what happens and why we feel like we feel, and how we can begin to heal and rebuild. So just looking at the sudden shock of that change, how the initial impact of that crisis, the emotional shock, can leave us reeling, that we don't know what to do. We almost feel paralysis, that our normal status quo has been affected. And then there is a challenge of changing what we normally would do and accommodating that change, whether it's being ourselves, a sibling, a parent, or a young child, your own child. It can have a huge impact, and the first level of that response can be shock, disbelief. And it's moving towards and looking at the stages of a grieving, a bereavement. We think that we're okay, that this is a different type of grieving. It's like a living grieving. It's something that everyone naturally goes through in their own way. And there is no right or wrong, or this is how you should respond, or this is how you should be. Because if anybody, and I mean anybody, tells you that you should cry, or you shouldn't cry, or you should be emotional, or you should be this, or should be that, allow them to say what they feel they need to say. Take on board what feels right for you to take on board, and leave the rest when you walk away. Leave the rest behind. You don't have to take on other people's beliefs and other people's understanding, because you are your own person and you are in charge of your own experiences, and nobody is the same. Everybody will grieve in different ways. Some people will launch themselves into work. Others may get very angry. Others may feel very guilty. It might be that you move locations, move into the family home, or it might be that you're doing more from afar. Whatever it is, it's whatever is right for you, and no one can tell you that you are wrong and that you are doing it not the right way. Each sibling, each parent, each person will be in their own circumstance and their own situation. Everything is situational. It might be that there are siblings within the family home. It might be that you're not in the family home. So how can it be the same for everyone? And don't let anyone guilt trip you into being or behaving or doing something that's not comfortable or right for you. These are very challenging times, and there is no right way for each person. Some common reactions are anger, denial, a numbness, a sort of a shutting down of the emotions, almost a withdrawal from your normal life, from your social, from friends, from laughter, from humour. And a level of anxiety for many can surface, a level of anxiety of the unknown, not knowing what quite, how to handle, what to say, what to do, what not to do. Because what might be your way of handling it might not be somebody else's way within your family unit. And so there are differences in terms of how each person, and depending on how you fit within the family unit, might respond. There is a difference between sudden and gradual crisis. When it is a sudden death versus a terminal diagnosis, the emotional survival mode can kick in. And when you are in that space of handling a sudden death, sometimes we go into what's called survival mode, or coming into a coping strategy to manage that crisis. You're not broken, you're human. However you respond is completely okay. And even if you're feeling that you're drowning, it is completely okay. It's okay not to be okay. Sometimes people can reach out to you and expect you to be the life and soul of the party, and yet inside you're literally dying, uncomfortable, find it hard to breathe. It might be that you find it difficult to be challenged by these sudden changes. Allow yourself the gift of being however you feel you're being. I remember being on a tube journey, and there was a group of people, young people, that had come from a party, a celebration, a dinner and drink celebration. And I landed up talking to one of the young girls that were part of that party, because we were standing in the tube. And she opened up and said that she was not really feeling that cheery, and yet she was doing her best to live and be happy. And then she shared with me that she'd just lost her mum. And I remember having a deep and meaningful conversation with her in the 3 stops that we had on the tube together. And I remember saying to her, it's okay to not be okay. And it's okay if you feel tearful to be tearful. Others will understand. Others who care enough and know you well will be respectful and appreciate who you're being, and will appreciate and respect how you feel. And if they really truly are authentic friends, they won't judge you, and they won't tell you to man up or girl up or stop this nonsense. They will be there for you however you are feeling. There are fair weather friends that cannot cope with the vulnerabilities that you may show or that you may feel. Know who they are and be discerning in who you feel comfortable to open up to, because not everyone can cope with you being vulnerable, or you being uncomfortable to live, or you being in that state of emotion. Choose the people that you open up to wisely, because not everyone is okay and can't handle it, because there might be something within their own environment, their own life, that would be difficult for them. Sometimes I remember that the expression that when we are feeling sad, we tend to attract other people that are feeling sad. When we are feeling happy and excited, we tend to attract others that are feeling excited and happy. And when we feel uncontrollable humour and we just want to laugh out loud, we will find other people that will feel comfortable in laughing out loud and being the life and soul of the party. And this comes from whoever you are being and feeling is a direct frequency that goes into the field and attracts that frequency back. And if you're not feeling life and soul of the party, it's completely okay not to feel life and soul of the party. And don't feel that you have to be what others expect you to be. Be how it feels right for you. You are not broken. You are human. It's really important to remember that, not only for yourself, but for your own sanity in handling your crisis, whether it be personal or a family member. Roles can shift within the family dynamic. The family structure can be disrupted. Parents become carers. Siblings take leadership roles, and adult children can sometimes regress. Who knows what's going to happen? It's just human to go into these normal dynamics, and there is no right or wrong. There is just what is, what happens. Never feel uncomfortable if you have regressed or if you are feeling angry. You're being human. The stress of reversed roles when you care for a parent can become difficult in terms of your own emotional state of being, almost like you're holding it together or doing your best to hold it together. The family system theory shows that when one person is in crisis, it affects the whole family unit. Know that you are completely okay in being in whatever you are experiencing. Every step of the way, I'm going to say it is okay to not be okay. And it is okay to just go out and have some fun too. Don't do it because somebody else pushes or forces you. Do it because it feels comfortable, it feels good, and it gives you a little bit of normality. And feel okay rather than feeling guilty, because it's so easy when somebody in your family unit is suffering to feel guilty about having fun. Be okay to not be okay, and be okay to take those moments with friends, with other siblings, with parents, to have those special moments. Friendships are something that I truly believe they come in at times when we don't even expect them to come in. People can drop into your window and say the kindest of things, or honour you with the generosity of their ear, listening, being open to hear. It might be that they offer you a hand of friendship, a hand of being not feeling alone. Take that opportunity, whatever it is, however it comes. It might be a message, it might be a phone call. Every time somebody lends that hand of compassion, be with whatever feels right. If you feel like sharing, share. If you feel like saying thank you, sometimes it's too difficult to speak. Sometimes emotions come up. I've been in situations where people have reached out and I've just felt a tearful level of overwhelming joy, overwhelming, joyful tearfulness. And it is such a thing. I remember always feeling uncomfortable when I was young and older people, in inverted air quotes, were crying at weddings. I always used to think, well, what a funny thing to do. It's a happy place. It's a happy experience. And yet now I truly understand, with wisdom and with age, that we can cry from a place of happiness. We can cry from a place of being joyfully happy for the other person. And it can bring up emotions and feelings in us that make us feel joyfully emotional. So never feel uncomfortable if you are emotionally, joyfully tearful or emotionally tearful, whatever the situation. Sometimes I can actually say, oh, I feel so upset, I feel so tearful, and I'm actually, these are tears of emotional joy. Allow yourself to be that emotional, joyful, and sad person. However it comes up for you, it's truly right to be however it is. You might be dealing with grief, and you might feel anger and complete powerlessness in these moments of crisis. And it's okay to not feel in control and to feel a level of not being in your own power. And sometimes when you feel out of control and not in your power to do something about the situation to make it better, allow yourself the privilege to feel that powerlessness. It is normal. You don't have to handle everything or be in control of everything. Sometimes to be open, to not feel that you have to be in control, allows you a level of freedom and comfortableness. It's not just after the death of someone when we feel grief. It can also be in the loss of the normality of what normal life really is versus what it's become in that moment of crisis with your family. And this is why anger can show up at others, at life, at institutions, and also feelings of guilt, especially in caregiving or decision making. Allow space, and I'm going to say this again, allow space for all emotions, even the ones that you feel are acceptable emotions. Allow the space for what you might deem as unacceptable emotions. If you name the emotion that you are feeling, whether it's anger, resentment, it could be that you feel that everyone else is having fun, everyone else is enjoying life and you are suffering. It could be that you are feeling angry that life is going on for everyone else and you're just not feeling it. It's okay. I remember when my dad passed away, and I remember it was in October, and in a few short months it was Christmas, and there was a little superstore that had shoppers just on the corner of where I lived at the time in London, and there were people laughing and giggling and talking about Christmas, and looking at the different cakes and desserts and special things like the Christmas logs. And I got very angry. I remember feeling, how can they be so happy and celebrating Christmas and looking forward to Christmas when my life is over? And that was in 2000, 25 years ago. And I remember it like it was yesterday. How can they feel so happy? Why are they not sad? It almost feels incomprehensible because we get consumed by our own experiences of what we're personally feeling. Just feel comfortable to be uncomfortable in whatever you are experiencing. And it doesn't make sense, and yet it's things that we can feel. Name the emotions. Use journaling as an incredible tool to move into a space of feeling okay. Sometimes when we write things down, if we write ourselves an email to ourselves, or if we write in a journal, handwriting, if we record how we're feeling with an audio recorder on our phones, for instance, it's amazing what can happen about letting go. The subconscious is truly amazing in terms of when the emotions are written, it almost feels freeing. This is where a problem shared comes from, is a problem halved. It feels very debilitating when you're carrying everything. If you just write it down, or even if you are exploring journaling in terms of waking up in the middle of the night and just writing down what you're feeling, even if it's tears from a space of you're happy, or a space where something just comes up, a memory, allow it. Have safe conversations with therapists, support groups, siblings, friends, parents. You'll be surprised how many people go through these same similar experiences. Remember, it's okay to not be okay, especially in times of family crisis. There is the practical things that have to be dealt with, the paperwork, the care, getting clarity. Managing the practical is managing responsibilities during the emotional chaos. Certainly, I remember when my father passed, there were so many practical things to register this, to report this, to sort out the bank stuff, to sort out the house things. There were so many practical things that you can get caught up in the practical and forget to feel the emotion. So allow yourself the grace to feel in those moments when you're not handling the practical. Allow yourself the space, even though there's all that practical stuff to do. Remember, it's okay to not be okay. There are medical decisions, legal documents, wills, power of attorney, the financials that lead to all sorts of stress, the sibling disagreements over care, inheritance. The importance of clarity is clear. Is to be able to have those difficult conversations, even though they are challenging, to have those challenging and difficult conversations, because it could be that when you approach a subject, a topic that's difficult, that the other person in your family unit knows they have to talk about that difficult conversation, that hasn't brought it up, It's important to feel safe in bringing up those difficult conversations, those difficult topics, even though everyone is dealing with it in their own way. It's important to encourage each person within the family unit to have those difficult and challenging conversations before it becomes urgent and important, before it's too late. Healing and adapting and rebuilding. Healing isn't just getting used to it or over it. It's about learning to live differently. It's about learning to live in a different way with that change in circumstance within the family unit. It's about adaptability for yourself, for your siblings, for the parents, for the extended family, for the friendships. It is so easy to retreat from your friendships, from social life, from the external world. It's almost like you can feel that you're in limbo, waiting for something to happen, to not happen, waiting for the next result if it's a terminal illness, waiting for something to change when you know deep down that it's terminal. Feel okay to not be okay. It's important to have that family communication. The role of rituals in closure, funerals, memory projects, family check-ins. Check in, make sure that you're okay, that they're okay, and they might not be okay. Be open to listen, be open to respond if they need you. Be open to be there at the end of a call, at the end of a message. Be there, because they will be there for you when you are there for them. Families in crisis, it's incredible how we can come together in times of crisis and emotional turmoil. Families can dysfunction and they can be in persistent trauma because of that dysfunction. There can be a breakdown in care. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to begin again. It's okay to be not okay. Be your own compassionate self. You are not alone. Strength is in seeking help, sharing emotions, and seeking support. One of my takeaways for you is crisis may fracture the familiar. With compassion, communication, and care for yourself and for others within the family unit, families can rebuild, not the same, stronger, more connected, more loving, more caring, more in tune with their own lives as well as the family unit. Crisis doesn't break a family, it reshapes it. And with time and care, it can rebuild it. You're not broken, you're human, and every emotion is valid. Every feeling, every part of whatever you're thinking and experiencing is normal. It's okay to not be okay. Grief doesn't happen when it just follows death. It comes with loss of normality. Be okay not to be okay. Practical planning is a form of love. It brings order to the emotional storm. Let go of the idea of going back to normal. Instead, build a new kind of normal, a new space within yourself and your family of compassion, and allowing yourself to be okay to not be okay. Sometimes the strongest thing that you can do is reach out and ask for help. I have, if you would like, a downloadable checklist. Please do message me if you would like this downloadable checklist. It's in PDF format. I would love to be supportive to you, your family, your sibling, your parents, especially when you feel not okay and when you are in a family crisis. We have been exploring families in crisis, navigating sudden change and emotional turmoil. It has been my pleasure to do this talk, to give you something that you can come back to time after time. Please do subscribe to USA Global TV and Radio. Download our app, USA Global TV and Radio. Be part of the global family, bringing hope, education, inspiration, and storytelling. It is available on Amazon Fire, Roku, Android, Apple TV, TikTok, X, and many more. Thank you very much for listening, and thank you very much for being open to be okay, not to be okay. You can follow me on LinkedIn and Facebook, or message me if you need any support at all. I've been doing this work in stress management, in all forms of stress management, for 25 years. I started this new career after my father passed away, and I've never been more grateful for having a family crisis move me into a state of now being able to leave a legacy for all sorts of people who may not seek therapy or counselling or coaching, or may not seek outside help, but they might check into a YouTube channel. Please do reach out on email nomorestress@live.co.uk, or call me if you're international, +44. If you're local, 07523 120 189. I look forward to helping you with your personal challenges. Namaste.
USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents Tracy Cram Perkins, a dementia caregiving survivor teaching how to balance care with peace of mind. #1 resource for dementia caregivers. It's the book Dementia Home Care: How to Prepare Before, During, and After. Over 17,000 copies sold of this must-have guide. And now a testimonial from Tracy Smith.
If I was to describe this book to someone who is going through a similar situation, I would underscore how important it is to have some sort of a tool or a guidebook to help you through certain stages. And there's so many, it's such an unknown topic to the average person. And to have this as a reference is essential. It's going to help you get through it personally, as well as help your loved one manage.
To learn more, go to tracycramperkins.com. Tracy Cram Perkins is an award-winning author. She's also the host of Dementia Home Care television show. Watch it here on USA Global TV and Radio. USA Global TV and Radio proudly presents Steve Klein Art at steveklein.art.
My name is Steve Klein, born Manchester, England, 1953. My quest in my lifetime is to create artwork from my soul and the deepness within my wildest dreams and fantasies. In 2012, my heart stopped when I was given too much anesthetic for a minor knee operation, and this near-death experience took me to another multidimensional world, an out-of-body experience, and I was given the gift of being blessed by an overwhelming, burning passion to become, for the very first time in my life, an artist with an eternal, passionate desire to bring my art which I've named multidimensional, subliminal freeform art to the world, as only 3% recover from what I experienced, and now in my golden years want to release my cosmic, vital energy through my art to allow people to be a part of my cosmic dance.
To learn more, email roccogoodwine@gmail.com. For VIP pricing, mention USA Global TV and Radio.
Conveniently located in the Cherry Hill Mall in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, Avio Art specializes in custom art and photography printing. From museum-quality canvas prints and stretching to photo restoration, fine art reproduction, and framing with museum-grade glass, every service is completed in-house with exceptional attention to detail. Visit avioart.com or email support@avioart.com. In a world that moves fast, there's strength in the woman who moves with grace. Introducing Bay London, where confidence meets craftsmanship. Each piece is intentionally designed for the woman who knows her worth, crafted from luxurious Italian eco-fabrics that feel as good as they look. With elegant coverage, effortless support, and timeless style, our swimwear celebrates both your body and your essence. Founded by fashion expert Carrie Sykes, Bay London is made for women who want to feel sexy, stylish, and seen. From poolside to beachside, sunrise to sunset, Bay London outfits you for every moment that matters. Because beauty isn't about age, it's how you wear your confidence. Bay London, confidence, elegance, effortless luxury. Visit baylondon.com. Act now for your exclusive friends and family discount of $35. Scan the QR code. Bay London, where confidence meets craftsmanship. Proud sponsor of USA Global TV and Radio.
Thank you, viewers and listeners of USA Global TV and Radio, for joining us today. We're honoured to have your time and attention as part of our global community. At USA Global TV and Radio, we believe in the power of authentic conversations, meaningful connections, and creating a world of possibilities together. Want to be part of something bigger? Join our team of elevated listeners at usaglobaltv.com, a space where your voice matters and your ability to listen transforms relationships. Stay connected with us across all our platforms for thought-provoking discussions, expert insights, and empowering stories. Subscribe to our channels at youtube.com/c/USA Global TV. Follow us on social media and explore the endless opportunities we're creating for growth, learning, and inspiration. Together, we're not just broadcasting, we're building bridges and changing lives one conversation at a time. For inquiries, contact us at info@usaglobaltv.com. Music by Johnny Dyes. Produced by Executive Producer and Director Dr. Jacqueline Kerbeck. Voiceover by Mike Porter. Creative Direction by Paul Garcia. All rights reserved. Copyright 2025. Visit usaglobaltv.com to view our full terms and conditions.